Hi everyone, and welcome to the tutorial on creating a virtual environment or Python virtual environment on Topaz. A virtual environment is a self-contained atmosphere or environment for managing your Python version and the additional Python libraries or packages and their respective versions, so that you can avoid things like conflicts. When you've had a computer for a long time and you have a lot of software that you've installed over the years, you can often get conflicting versions, and these can get problematic and give you all sorts of error messages. So virtual environments are a great way for individual projects. So you're starting on a new project, create a virtual environment and have full control over your software installations and versions. And so we will get started by seeding into my group. And once we're in there, I'll pause the video if you are not currently on Topaz, and seed into my group now, and then we will continue on. So first of all, once we're in, we want to module load Python. And we will see now that we have Python version 3. Before you module load Python, when you default log into Topaz, you will see a Python version 2. So it's important that we module load first. Now we're going to create our Python virtual environment. There is some documentation on docs.python.org, which we will include a link to in the description for this video. And so if you want to read more about virtual environments, there is Python documentation. So Python 3 space -m, then for virtual environment, and then a name which we will assign for the project. I'm going to call it tutorial-env. Enter, and then I will wait a second. Now I'm going to activate the environment that I just created with the following command. So source space tutorial-env for me, because that's the name of virtual environment, /bin /activate. Quite a lengthy line here, so I'm going to create a virtual, an alias to activate the virtual environment. So I'm going to go into bash, so tilde/.bash_profile. I'm going to vim into that. And here I'm going to create an alias. See, I've got a previous one for project env, which I'll actually delete that one. So I'm going to remove that. So I'm going to create an alias. You can type into Vim by pressing I. So I press I here, alias, tutorial-env equals double quotation marks, and inside I'm going to write my command that I just typed in on the command line, tutorial source space tutorial-env /bin /activate. And that should, now to get out of Vim, I shift : and you should see it in the bottom left of your screen there. Make that a bit more user-friendly. Then I press W, then I press Q, and then I press enter, and I'm out. Now I want to, if I go to deactivate to get out of the previously activated tutorial-env, when you run this line here, you can see that you enter your virtual environment signified by the name of your virtual environment to the left here. So deactivate is to get out of that virtual environment into my system default. So now if I go with the alias tutorial-env, it's going to say command not found. So I actually need to source the bash profile to activate that change that I've made. So now I can run my alias and enter my virtual environment very quickly. So that's also a little quick tutorial on aliases through the command line. Now we can test Python package installer by trying to install NumPy. And we see that we're using a really old version of pip. So we're going to pip install upgrade pip. And now we have the latest version of pip, or a more recent version of pip. Just going to double check our Python path, and that we are in our virtual environment site packages and not the default Python path when you first log into Topaz. So now I'm going to clear. And so as we're working at, because our .local and .cache are automatically on the home directory, in the home directory, we will run into a disk space error if we keep pip installing, even though we're in our virtual environment. And so we need to symlink group to my home. And so we'll move the .local to my group first, and then we will symlink my group. So we point to the my group directory every time that .local stores in home. And now all our storage will occur in the home, in the group directory. We'll do the same for .cache. My group, we're moving to .cache to my group from home. And we'll symlink this .cache as well, with the target being my group. Target .cache. And now we should have our symlinks set up so that we will not be using this storage space in the home directory anymore. We'll now be working wholly in the group directory. And so we need to run a script, a bash script that Pawsey has provided to directly change the permissions on group. And we can do this by running fix.group .permission.sh, and then our unique project name followed by enter. Our unique project name is available if we just pwd once we're in my group, and it should be this portion of the path after /group/. So that will be your unique project ID there. And this should resolve any OS disk space error that you may receive as you pip install. For more information on this, go to support.pawsey.org.au/documentation/us/pawsey+file+systems+and+their usage. And we'll post this link in the description. Now we want to make a requirements.txt file. Here we're going to specify all the Python packages we're interested in having in our virtual environment for the purposes of the project that we need for our project. So I'm going to get Astro, Pi, Cython. These are just example Python packages. As you go along your project, you'll know what you need in regards to your coding. In terms of Python software, we shall do NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, scipy, and Plotly. Now press escape, shift, and so press escape, then enter, not just escape. Now I'm going to press shift and colon together, and then I'm going to press W and Q and enter, and that saves the file. So now I'm going to pip install recursively the requirements into the virtual environment. And now that the packages have installed successfully, I'm going to create a test file, lowercase I, going to import pandas as PD, import numpy as PD, MP, and then from sklearn.ensemble import something like a random forest regressor. Then I'm going to load a model. And then just print a statement to the command line. And then I'm going to just run the test.py to make sure that it works. And you can see that we have successfully run our Python script in our virtual environment. And we could do something like include this in a Slurm script and run that on Topaz with GPU acceleration. So thanks everyone for attending the Create Our Own Virtual Environment tutorial on Topaz. I hope you enjoyed this.